Hello, everyone. My name is Eugenia. I work for UNEP, and it's a pleasure being with you today. First of all, I really want to thank to GEFI and AICB for the invitation. It's really a good opportunity to have this conversation with you today. So I will briefly talk a little bit about UNEP, our work on climate, and how we see also the climate transition and the future on that. So who is on UNEP? Probably most of you already know us. It's a United Nations partnership with the financial sector. Right now, we have more than 500 banks working with us, and we really expect to support our members, to support the financial system, and align the SDGs, Paris Agreement, biodiversity agreements, and other relevant frameworks to support the transition of our economy. We understand that the financial system have a crucial work and a crucial role in this transition. So as UNEP, we co-create with the banks, with insurers, with investors to develop guidance, to develop norms, to really support this process. If we look how we work, we have the principles for responsible banking, we have the principles for sustainable insurance, and recently we have a UN Net Zero alliances for banks, insurance, investors, so to commit to 1.5 Celsius degree by 2050. These are our main frameworks, the umbrella of our work, but we also look very specific on thematics: climate, nature, resource efficiency, circular economy, pollution, social issues. So it's really a broad scope. And we engage with banks, investors, insurers, but also with regulators and other key stakeholders. But when we talk about climate, I know you have been discussing this in the seminar, but I think it's also important to highlight again and again why banks need to engage on that. So when we look the bank's finance emission, we can say the average is 700 times greater than their operation emissions. So we have the Net Zero Banking Alliances to really support financial institutions in this journey. So we really expect that they start measuring their carbon emission. And we know that it's very challenging because sometimes we don't have the methodology, sometimes we don't have all the data we need, but we also believe that we should start from something. So even if the data is not the best one, financial institutions are encouraged to make progress and publicly report their carbon emission in 9 priority sectors. The second phase is really to set science-based targets. That means how they will look the pathways, how they will look the sector transition, and what are their intermediary and the long-term targets to close the gap. So it's not only saying a volume of money that we want to have for renewables or other sustainable initiatives, but what is the carbon intensity of the sector that you are financing? And when looking your portfolio, how you improve the mix and how you close the gap 2030, 2050. So we have been working 150 financial institutions, providing guidance and try to understand what are the right mechanisms to make this change. And of course, then financial institutions need to engage with regulators, with public policies, with their clients, to be able to make this change. So I won't be on details here about Net Zero Banking Alliance, but I really encourage you to go in our website and to understand how we support our members, and really encourage you, even if we don't have all the answers, even we don't have everything that's in the perfect set, we really need to move forward. And then on the other hand, I think when here with you, I think it's important, that we see there is a lot of opportunities. So we have been discussing with our members, not only how they set targets, what are the methodological process to set these credible targets, but also what are the opportunities. And this is a chart that I brought from the climate policy initiative, that it's very interesting because we see what happened in 2019, in 2020, and what are the needs that we have in some regions. And you can see that 67% of the annual emissions are in emerging economies. So I think here in Asia, how we look those opportunities, how we finance this opportunity, again, with data, with methodology, not only about the volume of money, but also showing that the transition and that there is also credible ways to do that. As UNEP, I will highlight here 3 publications. We have many others. Again, invite you to look at our website. But about transition finance, I will recommend that you take a look in those 3 publications that we explore more. And here I put in the right side examples of metrics, how we're going to look that in your portfolio, and examples of KPI. So the split of portfolio according to classification, the amount financed, which clients already have net zero transition plans, number of climate solutions aligned with net zero. So I think that we have this challenge because we have these key metrics, and here are some suggestions to make sure that we are all in the same page and we are reporting very similar indicators, and then in the future we can measure our progress and we can see how we are moving forward. And I also want to take the opportunity to announce that we recently launched the Risk Center. So if we look back, we had a lot of modeling around climate risk. So this month we launched this Risk Center that is combining climate and nature. So this is very focused on risk managers and how they can integrate climate and risk modeling in the year day by day. So these initiatives come from a while, not with this name, only focus on climate, but now we will be working on deep working groups to develop new modelings with webinars that we're gonna share what we are doing, technical building workshops, and also a virtual resource hub. Then our members can see everything that have done in the past and take advantage of all this knowledge. So here is how we make this connection on climate and nature. And as we know, in the banks, normally are the same teams doing that. So I think this is a very important development that we need, connecting both nature and climate and integrate and embed in the risk strategy, policies and systems, and of course, products. Last but not least, I want to finish with our members in the region. So here you can have an idea, the countries that we are covering in a pack, the countries and the members. So here's also an invitation to join to UNEP. I think with GEFI and ISCB, we have been doing a lot of events, capacity building, webinars and activities, multi-stakeholder activities, not only with banks, but also with regulators, to make sure that we are building capacity and knowledge. So here is an invitation because we would like to see more members in those countries, and then you have the experience for peer exchange, have access to resources, and then together we can move forward. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Here I put my our email, our website. In our website, we have a lot of content, a lot of information. So I really encourage you to take a look and learn a little bit. And if you need something, please reach us. Thank you so much.